You're gonna reach the end of your life lonely, without any friends, regretting that you are not more brave. Unless you do something about it now. Okay, because it is the most important thing. There's this woman, Bonnie Ware, an Australian nurse, I think, who wrote a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. 5 regrets, at least 3 of them can be related to friendship, okay? The regrets are, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life others expected of me. I wish I'd let myself be happier. I wish I hadn't worked so hard, which, by the way, all of her male patients said this. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings, and I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends, okay? Now, if you take the, I wish I hadn't worked so hard, that's, Arthur Brooks talks about this, especially in his book, From Strength to Strength. It's about success addicts. If you've been addicted to success, focusing on your career your whole life, then you reach 50, 60, and you're like, oh shit, turns out the most important thing was my relationships, and I only focused on work. What do I do now? Okay? That's why personally, like, listen, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not 50. Oh, gross. You see that? Saliva. Ugh. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm probably not going to cut it out. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm just 30, but I know that investing in my friendships and relationships now is an excellent long-term investment. It just is. I mean, right now I'm traveling around Asia and I don't really care about, you know, like making strong friendships right now because it's just like the phase I'm in. I'm just traveling for a bit. But generally, I focus on that very much. And even while I'm traveling, you know, I'm calling my close friends. And I'm still being very social. I meet people all the time because I'm like, what if? You know, like maybe this random guy at a coffee shop could become my new best friend. So it's the most important thing to invest in. So that's why I wish I hadn't worked so hard is related to today's theme, I think. Now, another one is I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. And that's a big one, because you got to express your feelings to your friends. Like, I know as guys, we like to bond by insulting each other, and that's fun. But man, I love telling my close friends that I love them. It's just, and it feels good, and it makes you closer, you know, makes you feel closer. And you gotta express your gratitude. You really do. Oh man, it feels so good. And yeah, it's also related to, you know, you meet someone you like that you might be friends with, tell them, be like, hey, I think we could become good friends. Let's do it. Instead of just thinking, it's going to be awkward, and then you just pass on that opportunity, and you miss out on potentially a lifelong friendship, right? Now, the third one that I think is very important, obviously, because it's literally about friendship, is I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And that's a big one. That's such a big one. It's also something that I remember reading in this book, The Power of Regret. Well, you had these 2 friends who used to be super close, and now they had a fight or whatever, and they stopped talking for 20 years, and then one of them decided one day, hey, like, what if I just get back in touch with her? There were 2 women, and they did, and I was like, oh man, why didn't we do this sooner? We could have done this 20 years ago. It's so sad. It's so sad. But it's also so joyful that you can still fix things after so long, you know? Maybe you are 60 or 70 and you are that guy who focused on his career or whatever, and you think you're just done. But, you know, you can still do what it takes to not reach the end of your life full of regret, miserable and lonely. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's what I'm trying to help others do the same, whether you're 60, 85, 100, or 17, you know? Obviously, the sooner you take care of this, the better, but yeah, so I wish I stayed in touch with my friends. Of course, you know, I also made a video about ditching your friends, because some friends, you should ditch them, because you have to be selective to a certain extent. But basically, this is a video about remembering that life is short, and you got to be aware of what people regret later on when they reach the end, you know? I'm lucky enough that I've never had a proper near-death experience. I mean, it's debatable. I'm not going to talk about it in this video. But yeah, man, just keep that in mind, yeah? You really are gonna regret it and be miserable if you don't focus on this. I mean, imagine that. You're lying there, you're about to go, you're about to kick the bucket, and you're like, oh man, I could have, it would have been so easy. And yet, I didn't do it.